It's that time of year where we dive headlong into our bits, boxes, and trash bins to come up with new and inventive ways to immerse ourselves in the rich cultural tapestry of the orc. In that spirit, I'm gonna build a truck that totally doesn't want to be a kill tank when it grows up, so let's build that instead. I'll start by cutting up some of Optimus Prime's torso and joining it with one of my empty pill bottles. Thanks for helping me out, Depression. The process is pretty straightforward so long as a trip to the Pain Boys isn't needed. Now it's time for this final faction chassis to meet its ultimate destiny to become a kill tank chassis. Reinforcing it will help hold the platform together and will help provide stability for the rest of the tank. Speaking of which, it's time to join the front of the chassis to this mostly still intact dollar store tank toy. I'll finish up the bodywork by covering some of the gaps and leaving others open. I think this will sell useful and potentially hazardous by plopping in another chassis over top of the first one as well. Here, I'm cutting the cheese container for an orc storage area. I think this is a pretty good idea. After piling on some twisted bars from a wild GW sprue I found in the wild, I went to take a nap and came back to something wonderful.
What? Come on. Really? Okay. The least you could have done was cleaned up after yourself.
That's right, this kill tank was in such a hurry to become more than the sum of its parts, it put together its own reinforced ram, which I guess meant the next steps were weapons and paint. Let's clean this up a little. Here, I'm gonna make a wash with some dollar store floor polish and some copper craft paint I got at Walmart. I want a rust effect all over, so I'm absolutely gonna bathe the tank in it. If you're like me and have an allergy to mineral spirits, this is a way to get your washes done cheap. The paint was less than $1, and $1 for the floor polish? Not a bad price. It isn't perfect though, so do your own experimenting. While my wash sets, I'll use some baking soda to cover some areas and then I'll pack it into others. This is going to give the illusion of dirt in some places. Now I didn't really use the airbrush much here. I just took some time to make some areas look a little bit more collapsed and recessed than others, and to hit the spots I couldn't reach with the monster brush I was using. So this was my first Orktober rodeo and it was a lot of fun. I'll have to do more stuff like this down the line as I get more into the 40k stuff eventually, but for now, I've got to get this thing packed up and handed over to my buddy Spencer. This is going to be an early birthday gift for him and I hope he likes it. So till next time, chums, thanks for watching. Gig closed.
Whoa!